Hello and welcome to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we're making this Merry Christmas card. We're using a combination of different items. We are going to use the Winter Snow embossing folder, and we're going to use the Celebration label dies. We're going to use the two smallest dies. And we're going to be using the Merry Christmas greeting from the Celebrations Tidings set that coordinates with the dies. We've got the spider, and we've got the hearts, and we've got some of the garland and that can go with the greenery on here. And we've got Halloween and fall and Valentine's Day in here. So it's a really versatile set. Just put those aside. We're going to be using cherry cobbler ink to go with the cherry cobbler color in the Plaid Tidings DSP that we're using. It's a 6x6 pack of DSP. This one I've used the more crumb cake background. This one I'm using the white background, and that's the other side of this one, which would be perfect for Halloween. So we've got our card base. We've got our Plaid Tidings in cut to 5 1/4 by 4. We've got a piece of Whisper White cut 4 3/4 by 3 1/2 to do the centerpiece. And I can see that's just a little bit big, so I'm going to cut that down. And this is a scrap of cherry cobbler. So I've got cherry cobbler ink. I'm going to need dimensionals and Stampin' Seal. We're going to use the Merry Christmas from the stamp set and the Moose Punch. But before we do any of that, I am just going to cut this piece of paper down to 3 1/2 using my Stampin' Up cutter. So I'm just going to put that down and take that little edge off and put that away. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to stick the DSP down. So we'll do that first, and then that just clears up some space on the work surface here. So we're just going to line that up and drop it down so that piece is finished. To do the center piece here, we are going to die cut it out, and we're going to emboss it. It's really important when you're doing this that you do your die cutting first, because if you emboss first, when you run it through with the dies, it'll flatten out your embossed areas. So I'm just going to set this up and run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So we'll line this up, and the larger of the two dies needs to be lined up in the middle because that's the center part of your card. So line it up as best you can in the middle. This piece, we're going to do two things at once. We need the middle piece and we need the outer edge. So we're going to cut them both at the same time. This can go anywhere in the middle, it doesn't matter. But if you line it up, then you end up with a nice little frame that you can use in another project. So I've got that all set up. I'm going to sandwich it and run it through the cut and emboss machine. Okay, here we go. You run it through. Perfect. And as I've said before, that click noise that it makes is absolutely normal. So now we've got our one piece. We've got our centerpiece. And I'm just going to put these dies to the side. And I didn't cut this exactly in the middle, but you get the idea. You could use it to be a frame for another card. So I have the two pieces I need. Now I'm going to take the shim plate out of the cut and emboss, and I'm going to use my embossing folder. So I'm going to place this in the embossing folder, sandwich it up, and run it through one more time and emboss it. There we go. We'll take that out. I'm just going to put the embossing folder to the side. I'm going to put my plates to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to dimensionalize this. You can see how it's got the depth of the embossing on it. We are going to put dimensionals on the back. You can put as many as you like. I just put one in each corner because it gets enough lift that way. And then we'll just peel those off. I have a little bowl that I put my backs in sometimes so that they don't end up all over the work surface. So then we just center this down, and you just do your best to eyeball it there and pop it down. Now, to do the inside, we need to stamp the greeting towards the bottom of here, and we need to punch out the moose. So we do that. We just take our scrap, we put it in the punch, and pop it out. So that's done. So we have our moose, and I'm going to open up my cherry cobbler stamp pad. I've got the Merry Christmas stamp on here. I'm going to stamp away to make sure I've got good coverage, and I do. And this fits perfectly just towards the bottom in there. Close up my ink pad, and I'm going to dimensionalize the moose as well. So I'm just going to pop a couple on the back of the moose like that, and then put the moose on the centerpiece, and I'm just going to put him towards the top, stepping over the greeting like that, and then I'm going to turn the whole thing over, and I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of that as well. So there's quite a bit of lift in this card, but it's really quick and easy to do. And then you just center this in the middle and pop it down. And there you go. There is your card finished. You can do it in any color you like. If you prefer light blue or light pink and silver for your Christmas cards, you could do that. Or you could use any of the papers in the Plaid Tidings set. So thank you very much for watching today. If there are any products that you would like to purchase, please use the links below. And then we will see you next time. Thank you very much.